Oh, hey, what's going on here? This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. You know who we are because you are the Patreon supporters. And I'm Al Ducharme, and that is Al Romas in Tampa. We wanted to make an exclusive video just for you guys to thank you again for your support. Isn't that right, Al?
Exactly. Yes, this will just play on the Patreon page. And hold on, I got
Oh my
knocked
God, we
out
lost
there.
him.
Hold
Whoop,
on.
whoop, whoop,
Oh,
whoop.
just got
Holy, when Al gets a message,
that
his...
that was a phone call,
Right.
an actual phone call in 2021. People are using the phone. That was a past Talking Dicks guest. That was Pat Godwin,
Oh,
the great
Pat.
Pat Godwin, calling in. But I had to hit decline. Sorry,
Yeah,
Pat.
he wants to borrow money. That's why.
Son of a bitch. He heard I'm working. He heard I'm
Yes.
working again.
Al Romas is going on long-term contract to the Caribbean.
Disability.
After over 13 months of in lockdown, he's back on the high seas, and we're going to be doing the podcast from the Caribbean, depending on our signal, of course. And I'll be mostly in Los Angeles, but I'm going to be hitting the road as well. So I'll be doing a few of these in the tri-state area on the West Coast. But,
yeah, if any patrons know people who like cruising or cruise addicts or cruising enthusiasts, they might want to join the Patreon, because I'm going to be posting video and telling some stories that only on the Patreon page, because it's going to just keep a lot of it. Some will be on the regular podcast, but videos and things will only be on the Patreon page. So people who are really into cruising and haven't seen it in 14 months, basically, I think we'll find some interest in it, because I'm interested to see what the hell it's going to look like. And yeah, I got this offer, and I was like, you know what? 6 months is a long time, but it turns into a pretty good amount of money, and I'm out of work, and I will take it. So I leave Sunday.
And he leaves Sunday. But also, Al served our country in the Navy for 4 years, so he signed a 4-year contract. So 6 months really isn't a big deal for him. But you're going to be seeing a lot of exclusive footage from the islands, hurricanes and tidal waves. And but you're going to see some beautiful scenery, and you're not going to see stuff like, my hairy armpit. You won't be seeing,
Right.
You won't be seeing that.
No. There was no need for that at all. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, I'll be, showing the ship what I can, some of the ship, things that, you're not going to be able to see, I would say, anywhere else. I mean, for a while, I will be one of the very few people who will be on a cruise ship and posting video on a Patreon page. So if you are watching this and you know people who like that cruising life and are interested, tell them to join up, and there'll be a lot of stuff for them to see, make it a little different than usual, but we will still be with the regular podcast with our guests. We just had a great guest. He'll be on. Well, you may have seen him already, because I don't know when this is. Mark Norman,
big comedian,
great comic
coming up. He's pretty big now, but he's going to be huge.
He's going to be really. I think he could be one of the really big guys. Like, I think he has that potential to be a household name.
Yeah.
In a couple of years.
The
I
Bill
definitely
Burr,
think that.
Seinfeld, Louis C.K. Category. Yeah.
Yeah, and he worked it. And he told us. I mean, he went to New York with nothing, knew nobody, and just did these little side rooms. He didn't even go in the clubs for a couple of years. He was
intimidated to go in the clubs because he felt like he wasn't worthy of it. Whereas you and I are like, I want that $15 spot.
I know. See? Yeah. But his lack of self-esteem and a lot of his, nerdiness and whatever he's got. I mean, he's got a bunch of. It paid off. Yeah. Yeah. So his first special. I mean, this guy's been in comedy. I don't know. I think he started around what did he say? 2004? Was it 6?
Yeah, he's
somewhere
around
around there.
17-year mark, and
but he's got 2-hour specials out. I watched the first one the other night. It was on Comedy Central. That was called "Don't Be Yourself," because that's what he was always told when he'd go somewhere, whether it was his parents or his girlfriend at the time. They'd go somewhere and they'd go, like a party, and they'd go, just don't be yourself.
It's hysterical. But he actually has some great insight on the comedy world of today and how it was. And he says he's
Yeah.
kind of leaning back towards the way comedy was done, where you tell jokes. You write.
Yeah, he's a real comedy nerd. I mean,
Yeah.
like you pointed out to him, his Twitter profile pic is Red Fox at a typewriter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who the fuck has that under the age of 70? You know what I mean? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
That's his pick. He doesn't have himself because he hates himself, but it's Red Fox writing jokes. I mean, that's pretty cool.
And you don't think of Red Fox as a writer, but in fact, Red Fox was very organized. He wasn't winging it, and he would write jokes. And he was a big club act before Sanford and Son. Yeah.
Remember the party albums, like your
Yes.
parents or my parents would have in the basement? They'd get the adults together and they'd have some cocktails and they put on these quote unquote party albums that were dirty. And it was Red Fox telling dirty jokes.
Rated R.
Exactly. And remember, in Vegas, he would have Red Fox XXX. They would have Fox spelled with 3 X's.
Right.
And he would come out and he would talk about wash your ass, I'll eat your ass. And people would get up and leave because what the fuck do you think you were coming into? Where are you going? It's like, what did you think I do? This is what I do. It's not Sanford and Son.
This is who I am. It wasn't Lenny Bruce, but it was definitely.
No, he was a dirty
comic.
nightclub comic, and funny as hell. Mm-hmm. I mean, check him out on YouTube, whatever's there, anything live. I mean, he's funny as hell.
Absolutely.
But he wrote those jokes. Those jokes weren't around, just floating. He had to write them.
Now, Al, changing the subject a little bit more about us because we're going to wrap it up soon. People have been asking when, because of the pandemic, of course, when are we going to see another episode of the web series, The Two Dicks?
Well, that's a good question. I don't have the answer to that one. I don't know. When will we see another Two Dicks? You tell me. You're the more of the producer than I am.
Okay, well, here's the
Two
thing.
Dicks.
The last 2 episodes we did on the phone. And the first one was a dud. It didn't work. But the second one worked because you wrote the script, but I made it, I had to do a little rewrite.
You made it pop.
I had to do a little rewrite.
And you made it pop.
And it popped. And that's the formula. And that's why we work well together. I think rather than having us talk on the phone throughout, we just do 2 storylines that somehow parallel one another. I'm on the mainland and you're in the Caribbean chasing some, maybe you read a
skank.
Yeah, and or chasing some guy who is you have to bring him back because he jumped bail or something. You're like a bondsman on the side or something.
I'd rather chase a skank.
All right, we'll chase a skank. That's the idea. If you have an idea, please let us know in the comments below. What else do you want to tell them, Al? Oh, they're going to be seeing this exclusive video of Al in these places in the Caribbean, but also in the bowels of the ship. You're going to see the ongoings. You're going to see drunken crew members vomiting on one another.
Probably not.
You're
going
to see the captain with no pants. A lot of
maybe
things.
not. Nah, maybe not.
No.
No. The captain doesn't have his pants on. That's just for me and him. That's private time. That he always says no cameras. I go, all right, you got it, Cappy. I call him Cappy. And maybe in the last week of my 6-month contract, I'll do a little of that, but not in the beginning.
No.
But you're going to get to see me melt down over 6 months. I'll tell you that's going to be
6 months, 3 weeks. You're going to be losing your shit. Al hasn't been on a cruise ship for more than 2 weeks, and even then, he's miserable.
Not a cruise. No, I'm not miserable.
They're not going to let him go ashore until June. You're going to be.
Yeah, we don't. Well, it's open right now. They don't know. They're saying we don't know at this point. Because Florida the ship will be home ported in Nassau for anyone interested, because Florida is still closed for cruising. So the ship, the Adventure of the Seas, its first passenger cruise is June 7th out of Nassau. It does Coco Cay for 2 days, then a sea day, then Cozumel, I think 2 sea days, and back to Nassau. I think that's the cruise. But if Florida is to open, the governor here is suing the CDC, so who the fuck knows what's going to happen. If Florida opens, then the ship will immediately go to Lauderdale. The other ships will open up. You'll be on a ship, and we'll be back to somewhat normal. So until then, I'm sort of the guinea pig test monkey, see what's going on out there.
He's the monkey in the Russian rocket, and I say we send him off.
What was his name? Do we know? Can we remember the name?
Well, there was Sputnik. Was the
Right. The monkey had a name
the
that
monkey
never came
was
back.
Yurgi.
Oh. Wasn't it the first astronaut, Yurgi?
Yeah, yes.
The monkey. That's a good question.
Oh,
I
there we
don't
go.
know.
What was the Russian monkey's name that was sent off into space?
Yeah. Let us know. And did he come back?
That was our
That
out.
monkey?
Why
Oh.
are you going back to the monkey? Thanks everybody for your support. We appreciate it. Tell your
Thank
friends.
you. Did he come back, the monkey?